I forgot. I forgot what I was about to say. Alright, YouTube. So today we're going to be doing a wave cut. So we're going to do a 3-guard with the grain, with a clean mid taper. We're going to clean up the beard. So let's get into it. So before I start any haircut, I like to comb or brush through it in order to prepare it for the actual cut. So as you can see, I was combing through it, and that's in order to lift the hair off of the scalp, and what that's going to do is allow for a lot nicer cut. So right here, I'm coming in with my 3-guard closed, and I'm knocking down his waves. Now with waves, what you want to do is go with the grain of the hair. So that's what I'm doing right here, just following his pattern and being very careful not to patch or go against it in any way, shape, or form. Especially with this client, because as you can see, his hair is a lot lighter the shorter you go. So I want to make sure that I'm keeping it as full as possible. And I think this 3-guard really suits him. It allows him to keep that nice shade of darkness in his hair, while at the same time maintaining the depth of those waves. Now this is a little different from how I approach any other taper. Recently I've started lining up around the nape area first before I get into the taper, because what it's gonna do is allow me to stay a lot more organized and let me see how the taper is gonna look as I do it. So I'm starting at the top of his nape and then working towards the bottom, trying to keep it as natural as possible, but trying to get it as crispy as possible as well. And you can see in this video I am using my Stylecraft Instincts, which I just did a review on. So if you haven't checked out the review I did on these trimmers and clippers, make sure you go check out my last video, man. Super dope. Now we're going to go to the other side and do the same exact thing, starting at the top, making sure I'm not going too high, and then we're going to work our way towards the bottom. And as you can see, these trimmers hit very well, super sharp. Now we're going back and detailing it just a little bit. And now let's get into the taper. So we're going to start off by creating our bald line a little below the bottom of the ear. With my neck tapers, I don't like to keep them too low. I like them more so in the mid taper area. And that's because I believe it just makes the taper look cleaner and last a little longer. So now we're going to follow it up with the shaver to get it a little closer to the skin. Now we're going to come in lever open with our Instinct, and we're going up about a finger's width here. And we're going straight across, following the same shape as our bald line. And I gotta tell you, man, these clippers are super powerful. They mow right through the hair. Now to get rid of the line in between, I'm gonna come in close and then gradually go ahead and open up that lever until we get this line blended out. And now we're going to follow that up with our 1-guard open, still doing the same thing, going up about a finger's width. And yes, these clippers are 0 gap, so we got rid of that first line very easily. But as you can see, these clippers are going to work. And they're very light, very small, so they're, you can really get through haircuts quickly, in my opinion. So now to get rid of the line in between, I'm coming in with that 1-guard closed. Now we're going to do our 1/2 guard lever open. And I'm getting rid of my lines as I go up. So now we closed it halfway. Now we're gonna come in with our 2 guard lever open, and this will be the biggest guard that we are going to use. So with this 2 guard, you'll see me flare out towards the top, and that's because I don't want to make that line too harsh. Now I'm gonna get that 2 guard and go with the grain to smooth everything out. Now for the line in between, I'm gonna come in with my 1.5 lever open, and then you'll see me gradually start to close that. So I closed it all the way right there. And you want to make sure that you're brushing and combing as you're fading, just to make sure that you're getting the most even and smooth cut possible. Now we're detailing with that 1 guard open for that line in between. Now for this last line towards the top, I did forget to record it, but I'm going to get rid of it with my 2 guard open, and I'll show you guys here in a few moments. No, I believe I went with my 3 guard and then my 2 guard open. So you can see that taper is coming together, and right here I'm at my 2 guard, and we got rid of that last line. So that was the back taper. Now let's get into the side. So with the side, I'm going to come in with my trimmer right at where the ear connects to the head and where the end of the eyebrow is, and we're going to establish that our first bald line. Then we're going to come in with our shaver to get it a little closer to the skin and really make that taper pop. And then, as you would guess, we're going to come in lever open on our clipper, going up about a finger's width, maintaining that nice kind of burst shape in the taper, because that's going to help maintain the shade of darkness around his lineup area, which I believe really makes mid to low tapers pop very well. Now to get rid of the line in between, I'm coming in clipper closed and gradually opening up that lever as we move up. Now we're at our 1 guard open once again, just like the back. And you'll see I use a lot of the corner of the blade here on the side of the head because it's such a small area. Now we're at our 1/2 guard open to start erasing the line in between. Now we're halfway. And now I believe we're closed all the way. And that pretty much got rid of the line in between. So we're going to go 2 guard lever open, the biggest guard we are using. And you can see right here on this side of his taper toward the top, it is very, very light. So I'm going to try my best to maintain, any shade of darkness that I can. So I'm going with the 2 guard to smooth everything out. Not trying to go up too high. Now we're going to come in 1.5 lever open to get rid of this last line. And this is going to start bringing that taper together. Now right here, we're just going to detail with the corner of our clipper lever open and really attack those dark areas that we see in the taper in order to smooth everything out. Now we're blending into the beard, and all it really is a reverse taper with a little less work. Blending into the beard is very easy for the most part. Now we're going to go to the other side and do the same exact steps. Now with this side, I'm not going to do too much explaining. I'm going to let you guys follow along, so let's get it. So now as you can see, we're at the last step of the taper with our half guard lever open. And then we'll close that lever little by little. And so far this taper is coming together super nice. Now we're going to go ahead and line everything up. And so we're going to start with his vertical bar on the side first, trying to keep it as natural looking as possible. Now we're going to go to the arch, starting at the top and then going to the bottom and meeting those 2 points in the middle. And that's how you get that nice round shape without pushing it back too much. And the reason I like to start by lining up the sides first is because I feel like it makes it a lot easier to make the front line up symmetrical. So now we're going to start in the middle of his forehead and move towards his lightest side. And the reason I like to start in the lightest side of his hairline is because that's usually is the area that is the highest. So we'll start with the highest point and then move to the other side, which is a little lower, in order to make everything as symmetrical as possible. Being very patient and careful in this process, not trying to rush it. Now we are going to enhance his lineup in order to take it, to the Instagram quality level. So this is just my airbrush with my Kiss Express and alcohol mix. And we're just gonna lightly spray it to fill in those light areas, being very careful not to make it too dark. And as you can see, this cut is coming together, but to polish it off, we're going to come in with our razor. Now what you want to do is stretch the skin in the opposite direction of which you are using the razor, so that way you won't cut them, nick them, or cause any irritation. And you can see the razor really sharpens everything up and takes the hairline to a whole nother level. And for those of you guys wondering what razor I'm using, this is the Faded Culture Turkish razor. You can go ahead and purchase this on their website. I believe it's fadedculture.com. And I know you see the shirt there in the background. Merch most likely will be dropping in the first few months of the new year, so be on the lookout for that. But now we're getting into the beard lineup, so we're starting at the bottom, keeping it as natural as possible. You just want to clean it up a little bit. And now we're going to hit it with the razor. And you can see his beard isn't really full or dense, but with the razor lineup, it gives it that much more of the illusion of it being very full. And now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. This side is slightly weaker as far as the density of his beard. So we're trying to keep it, as high as possible. Now we're going to clean up his mustache a little bit, put on those finishing touches. Send him out of there feeling good, looking good. Now we're going to get rid of all those flyaways by freehanding with our lever open. Now when I first started doing this, I know I was very scared and nervous. So if you are, just pull out the scissors and get rid of them that way. But YouTube, this is the cut. It is a nice 3-guard with the grain with a super clean mid taper. If this video helped you in any way, shape, or form, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. And drop a comment down below. Let me know what you thought about this haircut. But like always, I will catch you guys next time.